besties, it's my birthday today. Listen, I've kind of been not on YouTube a whole bunch because a lot of things have happened in my personal life regarding work and stuff that I'm not even going to get into. We'll do that in a different vlog. If you can see the zits on my chin, no you can't, pretend it's not there. Since today, April 30th, is my birthday, I decided to treat myself. In the upcoming weeks leading up to my birthday, I went a little bit sporadic. I know I last did a book haul about a month ago, and since then I've collected quite a few books, and I divided them up into categories that make sense. Some of these books I have already read, but I just wanted to sit down and update you guys on the books that I've been collecting in the past month. I think after this, I'm gonna go on a book buying ban because your girl cannot be putting this much money into books. Even though I recently got a new job, that doesn't mean that I should be spending a lot of money on books. May, could you please stop chasing your tail? You're interrupting everyone who's trying to watch with your jingling. So let's get right started into it. The first category is Veronica Speedwell. In the past month or so, I have really fallen into the Veronica Speedwell rabbit hole, if you will. I have read up to the 4th book in the series, and I'm desperately trying to give myself some space and time to digest everything that's been going on in the series before I pick up the 5th book. So I already own the first 3 books in the series. So that's A Dangerous Beginning, A Treacherous Curse, and A Perilous Undertaking. And after reading those 3, I was like, you know what? Why don't we just buy the rest of the series? I already know that I love this series, so let's just buy the rest of it. So I went ahead and bought the rest of the books in the series, except for the last book that just came out, I think this past March, which was A Grave Robbery or something like that, but I bought the rest of it. I have already read A Dangerous Collaboration, and that one I have to say is my favorite in the series so far. And I really want to read Murderous Relation, but I'm trying to give myself some space so I just will like binge the series. It's a slow burn, so therefore I want to slow burn my way through it. But the rest of the books are An Impossible Imposter, An Unexpected Peril, and A Sinister Revenge. I feel like I'm going to be able to finish this well before the rest of the year. I'm just shook at what happened in A Dangerous Collaboration. That book had me gasping for my life. Everything I wanted in a Veronica Speedwell book happened in this book right here. So I'm curious as to what happens in the 5th book, and I can't wait to continue going on. So this was 5 books here that I hauled. This next category is T. Kingfisher. I am a huge fan of T. Kingfisher's fantasy novels. I tried giving her horror a chance and it just like wasn't for me, so I'm just gonna stick with fantasy. And I decided to buy the entire series of The Saint of Steel, I think it is. So the first book is Paladin's Grace. This one I have already read. The second one is Paladin's Strength, and this one I have also already read. The next one is Paladin's Hope, and the last book is Paladin's Faith. So here are all 4 books. The first one I gave 4 stars. The second one I gave 3 stars. That one was just kind of meh. And so I hope that the rest of the book is just as good as Paladin's Grace, because if the rest are just kind of meh, I'm going to severely regret buying the entire series because this was quite expensive. If you're going to buy the series, I highly recommend buying it off of T. Kingfisher's website because it's cheaper. It will take a long time for it to get to you, but you're going to save some money. The next set of book, I'm still trying to figure out whether or not I made a mistake or not, if I'm gonna regret this, because it was quite expensive, and that would be all 7 books in the Mistborn series. I bought the first trilogy set off of Amazon, and I have already read the first book, The Final Empire. These books are quite chunky. Like the first 3 books in the series are quite chunky. They're almost over 700 pages long. The first book I gave 4 stars, and it was something that I read quite a while ago, but then I decided to reread it, and I still really liked it. And this is a highly popular fantasy series. I think this is one of like Brandon Sanderson's most popular work. I do own the 4 books in the Secret Projects. They are back there somewhere. I think they're on this shelf right here. But I wanted to give the Mistborn series a chance. And then the last 4 books in the series I bought off from a UK website. These are the UK covers because I think the US covers are so fucking ugly that I did not want this sitting on my bookshelves. And like I said, this was quite expensive, so I really hope that I don't regret it. And it's 7 books to commit to, and so I'm a little bit scared because if you know anything about Brandon Sanderson, he is high fantasy world building, a little bit confusing, and his books are chunkier. So we'll see later on in the year if this was a mistake or not. I'm just not realizing that a lot of books that I bought are books in a series, and so is the next 5 books. I went ahead and bought all 5 books in the Chestnut Spring series. I've already read the first one, which is Flawless, and then I've also already read the second book, which is Heartless, and I gave it 2 stars. This one I did not like, and this one is kind of making me regret whether or not I should have bought the entire book in the series. The next one is Powerless, which I am seeing is getting a lot of mixed reviews. Some people love it, some people hate it. And then after that is Reckless, and the last book is Hopeless. These books are following the Eaton brothers. This is a cowboy romance. We're following the brothers, or sometimes a relative, finding love. And I'm hearing this is like a cutesy kind of story, and that Elsie Silver is really good at writing romance. And I will say that that's kind of true because I do like the first book of the series, but like Heartless I did not like, so I'm scared for the rest of them. But I am excited to own all these because they're very cute, and I really hope Heartless was just like a blip in Miss Elsie Silver's writing and storytelling, and then the rest are awesome. So the next category is simply sprayed edges. The first book that we have is Tell Me How It Ends. And I know that this is a special edition copy of this. It has pink sprayed edges. It is a little bit damaged on this corner right here, but I don't really mind it. Do I know anything about this book? No, I just thought this cover was really pretty and I really like the sprayed edges. I do know that it's a queer story involving what? I don't really know, but I just really like this cover and I wanted to have it. And the next book is one that I have already read and I previously owned, but I believe at some point I got rid of it. And when I was organizing my bookshelves, I was really shocked that I didn't own it because I own the second book in that series, and that would be The Six of Crows. So this is the black sprayed edges of it, and I found this at Half Price Books for $10. If you just want to buy this book and not the second book, Crooked Kingdom, like it's really hard to get or it's exorbitantly expensive. So I was really shooketh that I found this at Half Price Books for $10, and it's a really, really good copy of it. So I'm just really happy to own this. And the next book I have is Fate Inked in Blood. I think this is a Viking fantasy book, and it has these nice metallic blue sprayed edges. Other than that, I don't know anything about this book. I was just really attracted to the sprayed edges of this. I don't have any plans to pick this up in the near future, but I'm seeing some really good reviews for this, and it might just be a quick read. And then the next book in this sprayed edges category is Little Women, and this has this metallic gold foiled edges. This is a book that I've been wanting to read for a while. I love the Greta Gerwig movie, and I'm not a big classics girl, but I feel like if there's any classic that I'm gonna like, it's gonna be Little Women. This book is over 500 pages, but as you can tell, like it's smaller than my hand, and the print is really, really tiny, and it does have this really nice like bookmark here. So at some point I am going to read this. I hope to read it this year. And then the next two books are kind of random and they don't really fit into any category. The first is the first volume in Stars of Chaos. I bought the second book, it's up there somewhere, without knowing what it was about. And when I bought that second book, I didn't realize it was a book in a series. So I didn't realize it was the second book. So I was like, ah, shit, I gotta buy the first book. So I randomly came across this at Half Price Books and I was like, well, completes the series, and at some point I'm gonna read it even though I don't know what this is about. This was truly a gamble, and if I end up hating the series, then I simply might want to pass away because I hate spending money on books that I don't know if I'm gonna like. And then the last book in this category is All Roads Lead Here. I know that this is a romance, but this book is over 600 pages long. And I bought it purely because I'm wondering, why does a romance need to be over 600 pages long? And because I'm doing this challenge this year where I'm trying to read big books, and I consider a book a big book if it's over 400 pages long. And so this one's gonna help me fulfill that challenge as well as Little Women. But do I know anything about this book? No. I just bought it because I know it was romance, it's a big book, and I'm just curious, what do we have to write for 600 pages? What's happening here? I do want to read this one pretty soon, so let's hope that I like this. And so I have saved the best for last. The last category is special editions. And I do feel once I show you this that I'm gonna get a little bit of hate because special editions altogether is just very expensive, and it's hard to get special editions of books that you know that you love because everybody else and their mom loves it. And I just hate the resale culture of buying a special edition and then reselling it on like Mercari or Pango or on eBay, because then you don't really know what you're getting, if it's damaged or what have you. But I will say that I got really lucky with the books that I got, and one of the books that I got I actually spent a lot of money on, and I don't regret it at all. So let's just start here. The first set of special editions that I got are books by Grace Draven. This first one is Entreat Me. This book is so beautiful. This is a Beauty and the Beast retelling romantasy. I have already read it. I gave it 4 stars. I love the spicy sex scenes in this book. The ending was a little bit convoluted and confusing to me, as well as the curse. If you are familiar with Beauty and Beast at all, then you know that the Beast has a curse placed on him. that was a bit confusing in this book, but I do like the story and I do like the characters that are within this book. There's only one character that I was like, meh, take him or leave him. Like, I don't really care about him. But this is so beautiful. It has these foiled areas on the front cover. And then the second Grace Raven book that I bought is Master of Crows. This one I have not read, but it also has this beautiful foiled gold. I don't know what this one is about, but after reading And Treat Me, I do feel like I like Grace Raven's writing and the way that she writes romance and blends it within fantasy. So I do feel like I'm gonna like this and I don't regret buying this at all. Were these two books together really expensive? Yeah, it was. But just to have these sitting on my shelves, like out like this with the sprayed edges, I feel like it's just so beautiful that I had to have it. Now, the next book, y'all are gonna judge me so hard because I have said multiple times on this channel, multiple times on people's Discord pages, multiple times on YouTube comments that I do not like this book. And that still holds true, but when I saw the special edition of it, I was like, I must have it. It's just so gorgeous. And that book would be Sea of Ruin by Miss Pam Godwin. Yes, I have said that I don't like this book and that I'm gonna hold fast to that comment, but the special edition of this is so beautiful that I wanted it sitting on my shelf. Look at those sprayed edges. The end pages are absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And then the naked cover and the inside of the dust jacket is just, to die for. This did come with some NSFW artwork that I will not be showing on this channel, but judge me if you want. I don't like this book, but I do love the special edition. It's just so gorgeous. Now, this last book is the piece de resistance of my bookshelf. Did I spend a lot of money on this book? Hell yeah. But not near as much as you would think if you were like, look this up on Mercari or eBay or whatever. I probably bought this for half the price of what it was being sold. And I got really lucky because I had like a search save function and I was like being notified when this book was like being popped up and what price it was being sold for. And when I saw it for this price, I was like, yes, add to cart, click buy. I just knew I had to have this. The Mindfuck Mystic Box Special Edition. I just cannot with how beautiful this book is. Look at this cover. Look at the sprayed edges. The back, absolutely gorgeous. This is a 5-star book for me. And then when you remove the dust jacket, absolutely beautiful. Look at this without the dust jacket. It is absolutely gorgeous. So beautiful. And then the end pages are absolutely beautiful. It is signed by Miss Esty Abbey, which I have to question that because Miss Esty Abbey is no longer with us on this mortal earth. So I'm wondering what happened there. And then the end pages there is absolutely beautiful. This is the piece de resistance for my bookshelf. Judge me if you want, but I did not pay nearly as much for this book as you will see it being resold. I probably paid half or less than that. But again, send the hate comments my way if you're gonna judge. And so that's it. That are all the books that I've hauled in the past month since I posted my last book haul. You know what? It's my birthday. Be nice in the comments, please and thank you. Please go ahead and subscribe. Give this video a like. Please comment below. Thank you for joining me here on this birthday video, and I will check you out in another video next week. Bye.